God. Go.
Oh, there's somebody in the building shooting everyone.
What?
Oh. Shut up.
We've got one chance. One.
I don't want to die.
Listen,
Cheer.
it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Cheer.
It'll be okay.
When he comes in, he'll be shooting.
No.
You're not gonna die today. Not today. No.
Being prepared. That's what can dramatically change your chance of prevailing during a shooting event. Why? Because the shooter is not counting on you being ready to act. Being prepared begins with accepting the reality that today's world demands us to be ready for the unexpected and changing the way you see your environment. For example, if you're in a location where there are crowds of people, pay close attention to the space around you. How many entry and exit points are there in the space where you are? What rooms are proximate to your location that you may be able to lock out the shooter if you can't get out? Which exit or room is the closest? If something happened, which would be your first go-to room or exit? And which would be your second? In addition, train yourself to notice things that sound, look, or just seem out of place. If you hear sounds that are unusual or that don't belong, don't wait around too long to find out what they are or where they're coming from. Take action at the first sign of something out of place. In a moment like this, it's important to use your basic senses to determine the right action to take. This can be challenging because our human nature wants to see something in order to believe it, leading us into potential danger. So we must learn to trust other senses besides sight to make life-saving decisions. If we train ourselves to respond to what we hear versus what we see, we're less likely to put ourselves in harm's way. In most cases, we simply move away from the danger and get out as quickly as possible, resulting in a much better outcome. In these crucial moments, let your training alert you quickly that something wrong is happening. Now let's talk about the three primary actions you can take to prevail. Lock out, get out, take out. These three outs are not a linear response. Your location in relation to the threat will determine which out action is appropriate based on your environment, the location of the threat, and what resources you have at your disposal. So, the out that's best for you may not be correct for the person that is even a short distance from your location. For instance, those within the same large meeting room may use two different outs, depending on which door the threat presents them. For those directly next to the threat, takeout may be the best option because they cannot get out, and lockout is no longer an option.